Okay, I'm really hoping this has gone live because I've just been cut off from the wonderful Laurel. And Laurel, if you can hear me, can you just give me a thumbs up or something that everything's working right the way it should be? Okay, if you give me 1 second. Okay, I can see some views. I can see it. It's happening. Okay, great. Hey, that's working. Yay, fantastic. Sorry. Technical glitch. As I said to Laura, I am not the most technical of people, but we're here and that's all that matters. Brilliant. So we're 1 minute in. I think it's probably best if we just give a few more people a chance to get on. I hear that it takes a little while for Facebook to, you know, go along and let people know that we're here. So just do a bit of general housekeeping. My name is Uzo Ijewere and I run Augment Business Coaching and Consulting. My business is actually called Augment Results online on my my website, Augment Results, but on Facebook it's Augment Business Coaching and Consulting. And who am I? I'm a business strategist and I help small service-based entrepreneurs to create strategy that will fuel growth. In a nutshell, that's me. And I was so honored to have been asked by Laurel to come on here and speak to this amazing group of people. I joined Laurel Leaf about a year ago now, actually, almost the day I just renewed. And I can't say enough good things about Laurel Leaf, the Laurel Leaf Network. It's fantastic. Laurel is so amazing. Her attention to detail is unbelievable. And she really does give all the members on here coverage, you know, so someone will post and ask for, you know, random or I need someone to help me with XYZ. Sorry, I'm going to turn my phone off. Someone to work with me on XYZ, and, you know, your name will pop up. And it's amazing. I have actually had so much business from Laurel's site, and it pays for itself. I have to tell you, thousands of pounds worth of business from the site. So I encourage anyone that's on here to actually utilize the group properly. Make yourself known, speak to Laurel, ask her about how you can, you know, make yourself more visible, or tell her what your goals and objectives are. She's definitely willing to help. And, you know, just be there for people, educate them, talk to them, encourage them, whatever it is. She's created a structure that you can work towards. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so a little bit of housekeeping. Anytime I do this, I'm just checking my notes because we've got 30 minutes and I really want to deliver as much value for you as possible. So I don't want to ramble and I don't want to get off point. So if I do look to my right, I'm checking my notes. Some more housekeeping. What I would prefer to do is to take questions at the end of each section of my talk. So I've created it so that we're in 3 different specific things, you know, points to cover. And at the end of those, I'll ask for questions. And hopefully, you know, you guys will say something or you'll ask something. And if you don't ask, I should ask some questions and give the answer so that whoever's watching later, the replay viewers, can get as much value as possible. Okay. I think we've done 4 minutes now, so we might as well carry on. Yeah, so today's talk is about lead generation. On Friday on my page, Augment, I just did a random video on lead generation, and it was because I had been asked so much in the past of my clients about you know, client attraction and how to actually get clients and how to get paying clients. And it all starts with lead generation. And I thought it would have a lot of value for the people I serve. And so I created, you know, I did a live and I talked about lead generation. I've had so many positive comments about the video and so many questions actually that I thought when Laurel asked me to do this today, I thought I might as well create a second part of that lead generation video so that, you know, we can kind of delve into things a bit quicker, or deeper rather, and maybe get the value out of that and help you on your way to actually lead generating powerfully straight away. So let us begin. Lead generation is the lifeblood of any service business. It is your greatest asset, actually. The number of leads that you have coming into your funnel, into your business, is what is going to determine whether you're having a good month, a bad month, a good year, a terrible year. Because as a service-based entrepreneur, your database, the people you know, the people you serve, the people who can refer you, that is your business. So you might be doing nails, you might be doing massage, you might be a consultant, whatever it is you do. If it's service-based, your business is your intellect, your skills, and the people that you are dealing with. So without further ado, let's go into the top 3 things. Think about it like a model. So 3-step model to generating leads and growing a business. So we start off with marketing and prospecting. Now, let us distinguish between those 2 things. Marketing is not prospecting and vice versa. Prospecting, this is proactive, but is a proactive approach to marketing yourself, but it's not online. It's a very physical thing. So it's, some people still, drop flyers. Some people are telemarketing, calling people up, people that they think might be interested in the services that they offer. Some people are door knocking. Others are, networking. Network is a huge prospecting channel, because you're going out and hoping to meet people you've never met before and talk to them and exchange business cards, and then hopefully develop a relationship that leads into a sale eventually. It's not just instant, it takes a bit of time. Marketing is usually nowadays, especially for small business owners, online. So it's all about emailing, sending email drops out, promoting yourself, and attracting potential buyers, or your target people from the target audience, attracting them to you. Whereas prospecting is actually going out and grabbing them and getting them. In marketing, you're trying to attract the person that you feel you best serve to come and check you out and see what it is that you can offer, and then hopefully eventually decide to take you up on that offer and make a sale. So marketing and prospecting. So important to note that both of those are proactive activities. There is no such thing as putting up a website in the ether and rain all of a sudden is made. People start to call you out of the blue. It doesn't happen, because we live in a very, very noisy, very, very busy world. I can't remember how many, what the exact number was, but I think there must be about 1 billion websites out there. And, with all respect in the world, no one is looking for your tiny business, wherever that is, because it hasn't reached critical mass. People don't know about it, and if people don't know about it, the phone's not going to ring. So everything around your marketing and prospecting has to be proactive. And I say this and I stress this because a lot of people, a lot of service-based entrepreneurs think that all they need to do is hang their shingle, proverbial shingle, and business will come, and it doesn't. And in places like Laurel Leaf, on this site, for instance, just being here, you still need to constantly be selling. In my first video, I talked about always be selling, be present, be visible. Whenever you have an opportunity to help someone or talk to someone, or someone recommends you or refers you, always do proactively, do follow up on that referral and take them up on something, offer something, invite them to meet with you, to talk to you, to engage with you, to see if you can push the sale along. So what are some of the to-dos rather than how to do's, not what to do's? It's time to, I think, everyone needs to take some time to review what they're currently doing in terms of their marketing and prospecting. You might have set up your business 5 years ago and started with the normal entrepreneurial enthusiasm, gusto, and going for things, and slowly that those activities have ebbed away, and you've set up a structure, maybe, unlikely, but a system which is not particularly useful for where you are right now. Do a review of what you're doing. If you're sending out emails, what are the emails saying? How many people are opening those posts? You can check all these statistics on any of your platforms. You can see who's opening what. You can see how many people are receiving your emails. Continue to review and analyze what it is that has worked, and then forget about the things that haven't worked for you in the past, and start to maybe bring into your system other things that you hadn't tried before. Now, let's not forget, there are several things that actually affect your decision or dictate what your marketing budget is going to be spent on. What your marketing channels are going to be. So that's your potential market, your budget, your preferences, and your goals. Those four things dictate what it is you are going to use in terms of channels for marketing and prospecting. So review that and see whether it's aligned and do something about it. Let's see, what else? Action is the key here. I hear so many people go, I haven't got much business, no one's coming, you need to be doing stuff. You need to be taking time out to make those calls. I can't stress enough. I mean, I'm a networker. I love to network. And for years, I networked. And I had this massive database, and it did nothing for me. Because once I collected them, I put them into my database. That was it. I didn't take the time to think about exactly who these people were. Were they my ideal audience? Did I want them in my database? And then once they were in my database, what was I going to do with them? So taking action is key. You have to be, as I said again, I'm repeating myself, aren't I? I apologize. Proactive. Okay, so next thing we're going to be talking about is, let's see. Before I forget. So in your marketing and your prospecting, it's particularly important to align your values with your brand. People nowadays, especially for service-based entrepreneurs, want to know what you stand for. Who is this person that is inviting me to try their service, take my money, is what they think about. Who is this person? What do they stand for? Does that align with me? You need to be really clear about who it is that you are trying to serve, how you're trying to serve them, what you offer, and you need to communicate that effectively. So think about all of that when it comes to your brand alignment and positioning yourself in your marketing, so that it's not such an uphill struggle. If you're, if you've read about it, all the tribes and communities, those are people, groups of people coming together who have the same ethos or the same values. And so it's really simple to share your ideas and share your ethos and for them to buy into that. So as you market yourself and you move around, really be very clear about who it is you want in this tribe. Yeah? Okay, good. And lastly, on the topic of marketing and prospecting, I encourage everyone to educate their audience, to ask for help, because it's so powerful to ask for help. When I started Augment Results, the first thing I did was I had met a lady through networking, and she impressed me. I loved her story. She'd come so far, she'd done so much in such a little time. And so I approached her, and she's older than me. And I said to her, listen, I really admire you, and I've just started this business. I really need help, and I want you to help me. Will you help me? And she was silent for about a minute. And she goes, you know what? You just made the best decision in your business that you could ever have made, because so few people ask for help nowadays. And she's gone out of her way to help me, to send referrals my way, to to make sure that I know what's going on and invite me to events where I'll get more visibility, to showcase my work. And all I did was ask. You underestimate what the importance of just asking. So ask for help, and then always reward the help that's given. So if someone refers someone to you, treat that referral like you were having the president round for dinner. Really be courteous and go out of your way to show your value to this referral, so that your referee feels comfortable and confident to refer other people to you. Okay. Now, I don't know if we have any questions, but those are my key points in marketing and prospecting, the first step in your lead generation model. Any questions at all? I take that as a no. Okay, so let me see. Can I think of a question for you that might be of assistance? Okay, so I get this a lot. I'm constantly networking. Sorry, this is the question. Hi, Uzo. you know, I've had my business for a while. I'm constantly networking. I get a lot of looky-loos, people that want me to, you know, they just want to keep testing and trying things out, but nobody buys anything. How do I get them to buy things? Well, it's a difficult one for service-based entrepreneurs, because you haven't got a tangible product that you can hand to them and say, well, that'll be 20 quid, thanks. So people do take it for granted. You know, some clients, potential clients, can tend to push things a bit and wanting freebies all the time. And I say, you know, just be really, really very respectful always, because you never know where your next sale is going to come from. But I think if you set up very clearly at the very beginning what it is that you have to offer that is free, so that you can give it away with no resistance whatsoever, and you can give as much of that away as possible. And when it comes into paid things, you have the confidence to say, well, you know, I gave you that much value for free, and now everything else above that is going to be paid. But only you can decide what that is. So you need to take the time to actually look at that and think about that before you go out into the marketing space. Because whilst you're out, you want to be offering value to attract people. So you're going to need to say, oh, you know, I got a 15-minute consultation, or, you know, I offer a free report, or you know, quite happy to have a call to discuss specifically what I could do for your company and what type of results we're going to see. You know, whatever it is that you want to offer, be very clear about that upfront. Okay, brilliant. Right. That's one down. So now we're going to be moving on to the second part of your lead generation model, which is actually setting up a database and growing it. Now, I wonder how many people actively have a database. I'd love to get some indication. How many people have a database? Is it a spreadsheet database, or is it all the bells and whistles of a CRM? Yeah, a customer relationship management tool. Anyway, I can't stress enough how important it is as a service-based business to grow your, oh, hey, well done, Noel. Brilliant. Well, I would assume you do. You've got loads of people on your group. I can't stress how important it is to develop a database, a structured database system, and to actively be growing that. And you know, when I say actively growing it, I mean doing things to feed that database. Wherever you are, fantastic, MailChimp list, exactly. I've got a MailChimp list, I've got Insightly now, just because I like to have a bit more information about the people I'm doing stuff with. So I find that Insightly allows me to make notes on, you know, dates of birthdays and things like that, so I can actually develop this relationship. So yeah, sorry, back to the database. So there are loads and loads of databases you can use out there. An Excel spreadsheet is absolutely fine. If you wanted to have more bells and whistles, there's loads of things. Just plug into Google CRMs, and there's something for everyone's budget. But having a database is great, but does nothing unless you put stuff into it. And so all those wonderful business cards that you received, and you've gone around and met people, and you've said one hi, oh hi, nice to meet you this afternoon, and then that's it. That's got to go. So you need to create a system, a structure of feeding that database, and then understanding how you're going to nurture it. Because what's the point of a database? The database, oh, can I explain CRMs? Okay, so that's a client relationship, what's it called? Client relationship marketing tool. And they're usually Excel, but very, a bit more broad in what they can do. So in an Excel spreadsheet, if you're a coder, you're really good with Excel, which I have to admit I am not, you can make Excel do anything. It's amazing. The things I see my husband do with Excel, amazing. But I'm, as I said, not technically inclined. So CRM really works much better for me, because I go in, it asks me for fields to fill in, and I put the name of the person, the date I met the person, where I met the person, and as I develop my relationship with that individual, I start to get more information. A lot of my clients that I've worked with now, I will know their children's names, I will know their birthdays, I will know about, you know, holidays they're going to be taking, and partners, and that helps me to develop a relationship. Because well, me personally, I am actually interested in that. So I'll ask them, oh, how did the holiday go? You know, that's a way for me to stay in contact with them. So the CRM is just a tool, usually cloud-based nowadays, that allows you to collate all the information about the people that you're meeting, develop this database, and actually nurture your relationships by utilizing the information that is stored there in one place for you. Yeah, does that make sense, Laura? Is that any good? Okay, all right. I'm looking at my notes again. Okay, so yeah, so a cloud-based database or something is really important nowadays, because you know, you don't want to be hearing about, oh, my computer crashed and so I've lost all my contacts. Your contacts are your business. I'll give you an example. I know a lady that owned a beauty business. You know, she was very well established, you know, had loyal clientele, and she was busy and she was making good money. Unfortunately, due to personal reasons, she had to sell her business. And so she sold this business to another young lady who wanted to have her own first establishment. She had been working for someone else and was trying to come out on her own. And she offered this business, and she offered everything. She offered to sell her the database, the name, everything. And imagine my astonishment when this individual that was buying the business declined both the database and the name. I could not understand it. So she went about building her own little house. She stripped the business of its name. I hope she didn't go as far as changing the number, but I think she might have done. She never contacted any of the clients that had been faithfully coming in day after day, week after week, for beauty treatments, and started to prospect right from the beginning again. And as a business consultant, I couldn't understand this, because the whole point of buying that shop was the people that came there, and it could have been executed in such a seamless way that really it would have been explained that management had changed, but nothing else was changing yet, and give the customers a bit of time to get used to the new leadership and any new changes that come on board. Now, in industry, everyone, it's very, very well known that 70% of the changes that are implemented fail. So that's a 1 in 3 chance of any change you implement getting through. This new business owner had completely increased her chances or her probability of failure by not understanding fundamentally that the business was not the address, it was not the building, it was the people that patronized it. And you know, if there was ever a case study, that is that in a nutshell. Can't encourage you more to build this database and nurture it. And nurturing, what does that mean? So, you know, how do you build the database to start off with? So it's every time you're prospecting and marketing, get those cards, you put them into the system, you make contact again, make contact again. If it's referrals, create something for referrals and put them into the system, noting very clearly that the referrals, because the way you would talk to a referral is completely different from the way you communicate with a cold contact. You know, someone whose card you picked up, or something you'd seen somewhere, or someone you had met but really hadn't had much time to converse with. So all of this takes thinking and strategy, so that you're not constantly spending all your time doing this. It's a very important part of your business, but you do want to manage your time. Okay, were there any questions in terms of setting up a database and growing it? CRMs, MailChimp, Excel, importance of databases. Okay, key takeaways. I don't have much time left, about 6 minutes. Finally, the nurturing of the database, part 3 of your lead generation model. So the first thing I'm going to say is block time out to do this. The nurturing of your database is about what you're feeding that database in terms of your service, who you are. Making sure that you are building a relationship that's based on know, like, and trust. And the more they like you, the more they know you, the more they trust you, the more they see you, the more likely you're going to be front of mind when it comes time to referrals. Oh, I'm trying to sell my house. Oh, I know a real estate agent. She's been in touch with me now for the last year, and she seems to really know her stuff. I'll put you in touch. Oh, I really need to go and get someone to style me. Oh, I know someone, she's fantastic. She gives a lot of free information. Go and have a look at her website. And, I can put you in touch if you want an introduction. That is what you want as a service-based business, because 80% of sales out of referrals that come through, 80% usually result in a sale, because you will buy stuff that your brother says he has used and likes. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So block out time to nurture your database. And when I say block out time, I mean, when I worked at Goldman Sachs, one of the managing directors would block out an hour every day in his calendar. And I never got that. I remember trying to go in and talk to him a certain time. His secretary would be like, I'm sorry, he's busy. And I'm like, he's right there. I can see him. He's not on the phone. He's not talking to anyone. He's right there. And they'd be like, he's busy. And you can come back in an hour and see if you can catch him before he goes to his meeting. And I'm like, okay. And later on, I got Olivia, the secretary, to tell me what's going on. And he had blocked out an hour every day just for himself. I don't know what he used his hour for, but it was sacrosanct. It was sacred. He spent that time on whatever it is he decided, and it didn't matter that he was having a meeting with himself. It was a meeting. So block out the time that you require to systemize and to systemize nurturing your database. At the initial stages, you're going to have to set all that up in terms of the systems you're going to use, how many touches, what emails are going to go to whom. I think it's really important to categorize your leads so that you are giving the people what it is they want. How many of you had that unsubscribe? My heart just melts each time I see an unsubscribe. But that's life. Some people will love me, some people will hate me, kind of like Marmite. And I think most people are like that. So block out the time to, first of all, systemize your nurturing of your lead generation. Categorize into groups, decide what the touches are going to be, how you're going to constantly and consistently be in front of these leads to turn them into paying customers and referees. So follow that process. And there's loads of processes in the world. In the past, it used to be said that 26 touches were required to get someone from cold to buying. And when I say touch, I mean, an email goes out, or you make a phone call, or you send some marketing materials, whatever. It used to require 26 touches. Now it's 33 touches is what industry standards are saying. And just imagine that you have to communicate 33 times with a person on average before they will turn into a paying customer. That's a lot of time. However, if you systemize it, then it makes it easier to ensure that that process happens automatically, and that way you will get that sale eventually, or a referral, which is just as valuable. So create and follow a process, block out the time to do this, and then think about the touches you want to use. Is it going to be emails? Is it going to be posts? A lot of people still send things out in the post because we don't receive a lot of things in the post except for bills. And so it's always nice to receive something that's lovely. And marketing materials, industry information, showing yourself the expert in your industry is gold, because that will help them put you front of center, front of mind. Yeah. And another thing I want to talk about is repurposing your content. A lot of my clients are constantly trying to create new things, coming up with new ideas. And I keep saying to them, you have a core message. What is that core message? Fix on it and repurpose the content you already have. Showcase it in different ways, but continue to give them the same message over and over and over again. McDonald's sells burgers and chips. That is what they do. And all their content revolves around the burgers and the chips. Nothing fancy. They might make it look smart, bells and whistles, but it's the same core message. Okay, so those are the 3 steps in your lead generation model. That is marketing and prospecting, it's building a database, and then it's nurturing that database. Okay, so if I were to give you my top tips from today, let me get my notes out. I prepared that for you. Top tips. Where are you gone? There you are. Yeah. Simple takeaways. Everything I've said today is simple, but it's not easy. If it's easy, everyone would be doing it. So I encourage you, understand that it's very simple to do. You just need to take the time to do it. Second, create your own lead generation model. I've just described one version. Yours might be entirely different, but whatever it is, align it to your business, your service, and actually implement it. Yeah? Remember that lead generation is about relationships. It's about growing the know, like, and trust factor. So it takes time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be too impatient. Be consistent. And finally, my top tip is categorize your leads and feed them regularly. Okie dokie, it's been wonderful being here on Laurel Leaf. Thank you so much for having me. The replay will be on Laurel Leaf as well as on my page, Augment Business Coaching and Consulting. You can reach me on www.augmentresults.com. And thank you so much. I would really appreciate any replay viewers to send me questions, make comments, like it, share it, whatever it is you do just to get the message out there would be wonderful. I've been Uzo Ijewere of Augment Results, the badass teacher, born to teach. And thank you, and I'll be seeing you again sometime. Thank you, Laurel, for having me.